beautiful Friday afternoon, and I've just arrived at Dave's work to see how the property is progressing, and it looks like a completely different house. It looks amazing. So what's happened? Well, all that rubble has been cleared. So all the hardcore has been taken away by Digger Steve and Craig. They did a really good job. So it took them a couple of days. And as for the property itself, if you were here, you'd see sort of, it's incredibly striking, the work that's been done. So the entire outside has been rendered by a plasterer, renderer, Portuguese guy called Seca, and Dave said he's just done a really high quality, high standard of work. The outside has been painted by another Portuguese guy called Fernando. He's done an amazing job, and it really sort of brings out the work Dave did on the roof, where he's cleaned, pressure washed and sealed the tiles, the terracotta tiles, and it looks like a new roof. So the entire property now looks like a brand new building. It looks really striking. So let's take a closer look. There's a few pieces still to finish, like the painting here, but it's mostly been done. I'll try and find out who did the new windows, because the new windows and doors make quite a difference. sipwindows.com, Salamander, System Brugman. I'll try and put a link in the description below, but the new windows and doors make quite a difference. These are all new windowsills. They'll look lovely once they've been cleaned. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the quality of the rendering and the quality of the painting. It's really quite striking, and on a really nice sunny day like today, you can really see the quality of the workmanship that's gone into this. It really does look quite striking, especially compared to sort of normal Portuguese houses that you see. I've not seen many houses finished to this standard, to this spec, I think it's called. Underneath all the eaves, like Dave was saying last video, the workmanship is quite striking. And you've got quite a big garden here that will eventually be landscaped, and I think they're also planning on putting a natural bio pool in this space at some point, which will be absolutely lovely with those lovely views. The French drain's all been filled in. I'll show you that now as well. So that was quite a big job. So soil pipe, French drain, what else? I can't remember from last video. But yeah, that's all been filled in. That's all finished, and you can see what a beautiful job's been done there as well. So these windows and doors, they're really good quality. They look really good. I really like these full length windows as well. They make it look really modern. Let plenty of light in. This is the new front door you saw in the last video, which is quite a nice sort of modern dark grey colour, and it matches really well with the interior paint colour that's been chosen for the inside. I've filmed all the different paint colours, but for me this looks like a cross between Hague blue and studio green, if you like your Faro and Ball colours. And then I know the next thing is to Tin and Groove clad these tiles, so they're getting covered with wood, Tin and Groove. And you've seen the floor already. This is polished concrete. This cupboard's finished now, all plastered, rendered, painted, and the doors are back on. So the doors have been painted in a similar colour, and inside the cupboards have been painted this sort of canary yellow, African yellow. So that's that hallway cupboard. In here you've got the master bedroom, which is quite a nice light yellowy green. I'll add a description to what the colour is, but it's quite nice and light and bright, but natural and fresh. Again, this is this sort of dark blue green. I really like the detail in the hinges. Rita, the interior designer who's been project managing this build, has made some quite nice design choices. So those hinges in gold look really good next to that dark green. So this is the master bedroom's ensuite bathroom, which is coming together really nicely now. It's all been painted. All the plumbing is done. The toilet is in. Dave is waiting for the vanity unit from the carpentieres that they did the wardrobe. They've done the kitchen, and they're also doing the vanity units here. So Dave's just waiting to get that back. But he's got the shower, those amazing stone showers in. I think that was quite a job. It doesn't mind me moving this. I'll show you. So those are the stone shower trays. They're really striking. It's really nice. So yeah, you saw them the last video. So they're in, and I think they were quite a big job to get in. The tiles are really interesting, really modern. All the colours complement each other. It's like a green, dark blue, grey colour. So from what I understand, from what Dave tells me, he just needs to do the grout, and then that'll be finished. So that's almost there. And then this is the master bedroom. So So I think the bed's going to go here because they've obviously got sort of light fittings here, and for the bedside tables they've got their electrics there, so the bed's obviously going here. And it's a lovely colour because it's carried all the way through to the ceiling. Everything's been well thought out. Polished concrete floor that obviously will look really nice once it's been cleaned up. And then really big windows, very modern, opening up onto all that beautiful green forest outside. And this is the wardrobe that the carpenters made. It was specially made, and they've painted it in that really striking yellow. It's like almost like a mustardy Indian yellow. I don't know if I can open these. Dave, can I open the bedroom wardrobe doors? Okay. So no, I've done it. So this was all specially made, which they've done a really lovely job. There's drawers that pull out. It's really nice finish. Lovely. But what's nice that it's custom made is that it's quite narrow, so obviously it doesn't come in and encroach too much on the bed space. So, and they're like a soft close hinge. So that's a really nice, quite striking, very modern design feature. All really simple, clean lines. So that's the master bedroom, the ensuite. We've done the entrance hallway with this big floor to ceiling window. It's also quite a nice feature. So yeah, tongue and groove cladding in wood going on here, I think in a similar dark colour, if not the same dark colour to the doors. And then this will be the dining room. This is the salamander here that's yet to be fitted. Are you fitting the salamander, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the...
Just going to put it in position for now. Floyd's going to go in later in the year, I think.
Okay. So this is going to be the dining room. You can see what an amazing job they've done of the rendering, if you want to call it rendering or plastering, and the paint job that they've done to cover all that chasing out. If you remember in earlier videos, there was quite a big mess here with the electric box behind. You can't see any of that now. It looks seamless. It looks really good. So everything's been painted. Just a few finishing things to do in here, like attaching the lights. And then this is going to be the living room. And if you remember, all of this has been really well insulated, so it's going to be really nice and warm. And the salamander is going to be going here, the log burner. And you've got another one of these floor to ceiling almost windows, and it lets in a lot of light, makes the room look really modern. And then this is the, I suppose you'd call it like design feature fireplace. It's not called a backsplash if it's a fireplace, is it, Dave? What would you call it? A fire surround?
Yeah.
Fire surround. So this was quite tricky for Dave to do. I think he explained how he did it in that last video 2 weeks ago, but it's quite unusual, and it takes quite a lot of craftsmanship from what I've understood, people speaking about Dave doing this process, and then Dave telling me when he comes home from work how tricky things have been. I think this was quite tricky to do, but it does make for quite a striking design feature. It looks very modern, and yet there's something quite retro about it at the same time. I think it's the way the colours and the curves come together, but it's going to look really lovely with a salamander in front of it. And I think Joe's got a few retro sort of pieces of furniture. It'll be really, really interesting to see it all finished with the owners, Joe and Chris's furniture in here, see how it all looks once it's finished. And then in here, so there's a really nice flow from the living room to the dining room and then into the kitchen. So I really like how these accents of colours come through. So you've got the same yellow here as was in the hallway cupboard, and on the bedroom wardrobe doors. And then this is the pantry or larder. Dave, is the pantry going to have doors on it? Is the pantry going to have doors on it?
I believe so, yeah. They're coming to measure it.
Okay, it's the carpenters doing that again?
It's the same ones.
Same ones. So that's quite nice, isn't it, that you've got a similar colour scheme running through. And then this is a bit more of the kitchen, which you didn't see in the last video because it was all covered like this in plastic, but you can see a bit more of it today. So there's a big fridge going here from what I understand. It's lovely how it's broken up, so you've not got cupboards going all the way, you've got shelves here, which sort of breaks it up a little bit and makes it flow a lot nicer. I think they're still waiting for the granite worktops, but I'm pretty sure they've measured them this week, and they're again all specially made, which is lovely. And it's a nice thing about Portugal, you can get quite a lot of granite and stone specially made, specially cut, specially polished for your house, not too expensive. And it was the same with the shower trays, I suspect. That would cost you a lot more, for example, in the UK. I think it's quite a bit cheaper here in Portugal. So these are copper finishes, a bit dusty, but again, that mix of like modern and retro works really nicely. So it's like modern, sleek, and yet quite homely, which I think suits Joe and Chris as people really well. So they're really lovely, lovely people, but they're quite modern and they're quite cool. So I think Rita's done a really good job designing this space for them. She obviously knows them really well. I know they're friends, and she's definitely like kept their style and their taste in mind when she's been designing all of this. So soft close, pretty soft. Cool. And a sneak peek of the island. So this is that same sort of grey on these cabinets, which looks really lovely when you have those colour walls there and the colour grey cabinets there. All works really nicely together. There's huge amounts of report out here. It's just lots of rubbish. Dave needs to tidy up before we go home. But yeah, all this has been filled in. I think eventually we're going to have like an outside kitchen here. I didn't realise how important outside kitchens were to Portuguese people. It's quite important. So yeah, and then these were obviously like dog kennels at one point. I think the outside kitchen might be going there. But yeah, I think they've still got a lot more plans for the place. But they'll keep going with that once they've moved in. So I think they're planning on moving in quite soon. And then so all these tiles here, these are getting clad in the wooden tongue and groove and then painted in that dark green colour. Obviously it's a little bit dark now because we don't have the lights on, and it's the end of the day. But this office room is all painted. I think you saw that in the last video. This is going to be Chris's office, and then this is going to be Joe's office. So it's essentially a T3, T4. I think that's what they call it in Portugal. This is a really nice big room. And I think, yeah, this is going to be Joe's home office. So last time you saw the video, all the doors were in here waiting to be painted. So obviously they've all been painted now and put up. It's a really nice colour. It's dark blue green. I'm not sure how to describe it, but we'll put up the paint colours. And then obviously this is the big double door that goes out into the big garden with the lovely view there. And then when we first came, this was the doorway into the master bedroom, which has all been bricked up now. So it doesn't go full circle like it used to. And then this is just another sort of hallway cupboard, again painted in that pop of yellow. And then here's Dave.
Hello.
Using the last bit of tile adhesive before we go home on a Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock. So this is the main bathroom. You've put the toilet in.
It's almost finished.
Almost finished.
I'm trying to do 10 different jobs at once, that's the problem.
And then this has all been painted, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then this is going to be the shower screen.
2 shower screens here, 1 for each bathroom.
Okay. And then obviously you've put the attachment for the shower screen up already.
Yeah.
And then this over here, you're just waiting for the basin unit, the vanity unit from the carpenters.
I've got the sink and tap and everything ready.
So all the plumbing's pretty much been done, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's another one of those big stone shower trays. That was quite difficult to put in.
Very heavy.
It was difficult to put in.
Yeah.
It was quite.
4 of us.
Yeah.
And they were cut slightly too long, so we had to chop a little bit out of the wall and put one end in and then lower it in. It's all been sealed, it's bedded on tile adhesive.
And then 2 coats of sealant on the stone as well.
And these are specially made, specially
Yeah, they're specially cut, yeah.
cut. And then they polish them before they bring them, don't they? The stone.
Well, yeah, it's all smoothed.
Yeah.
It's all cut and smoothed.
And then these are the same tiles as in the ensuite bathroom.
They are.
Okay. So you're almost there.
We're just getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do still,
But in terms of them moving in, they've almost got a kitchen and they've almost got a bathroom.
Yeah.
So.
There's not much more to do on the bathrooms there. It's just like aesthetics, trim and all that kind of stuff mostly once this is done.
Yeah, and then light fittings.
Yeah. Electric should all be finished this weekend, or mostly anyway.
Have they got all their light fittings?
Yeah, they're all here. They're all in
Oh
boxes.
my gosh.
Look, there's boxes there. Look.
So that's all the light fittings.
Yeah.
So these are the light fittings for the main bathroom. So you can tell that every detail's been thought of, because this is a similar style to the tiles in the living room. It's that same sort of retro, modern look and finish. It's quite playful. It's gonna look really nice. So I'm just being nosy again with the light fittings in the kitchen. So that's not been opened yet, so I won't open that. This one has, let's have a look, black wall lamp. You can see that everything's got this sort of hint of brown or coppery yellow, and be very careful now, don't drop it. It goes really well with the copper and the retro and the grey and the green and the yellow. It's just these really subtle design details that, like, you and I would not think of maybe as much as a designer would think about all these little details. So I definitely think it's worth having a designer and a project manager working on your house, because ultimately it could save you money, but you'll obviously get a much higher quality, higher finish to your project as well. And then finally these ones are for the living room. Let's see if the box has been opened. Okay, luckily one of them's been opened. Let's have a look. Oh wow, this is really cool. So they hang like that, I guess, as side lights. So maybe they go there and there. So maybe so I guess they'd be hanging down from here. So you're almost done.
Just cleaning up. sponge this off for the night. Finish it Monday.
And then we were saying in the kitchen, it's just the granite worktops, right?
Yeah.
That need to go in.
And then I can do the last bits in there. I can tile in there.
What are the tiles?
We haven't got them yet, so I don't know.
Okay. So
Waiting on delivery.
I was wondering what the tiles are going to be like in there.
Like many things, it's a wait on delivery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should be doing that. Well, hopefully they'll be there next week and then I can get that done.
So I looked at all the light fittings, they look really nice. It's like a mix of like retro and modern, quite nice like coppery, brass, brown colours. So it's like, I guess it's a play on complementary colours because you've got blue and, is it yellow?
What?
Oh no, it's blue and orange, isn't it? Complementary colours.
I don't know about that sort of thing, I'm a man. I'll paint everything white if I do.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Quite bold use of colours. But yeah, I bet you're pleased it's almost finished.
Yeah. I'll be pleased to get home tonight and have a nice beer.
Cold
In the
beer
garden.
in the garden. I've got some in
With the dogs.
I've got some ready for you in the fridge.
Lovely. So what I'm going to miss is working with the Portuguese guys.
Well, you might take a few of them with you to your next job, right?
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, at some point anyway.
You'll definitely work with them again, won't you?
Yeah. They love to cook their dinner during the day. They don't just bring a packed lunch.
Is it-
make a barbecue out of anything?
It's homemade.
No, I'm just saying that he can make a barbecue out of anything.
Ah.
Bit of metal, a few bits of coal, and he's got a barbecue.
And he cooks sardines.
And loads of pork.
He cooked for you, didn't he?
Yeah, he makes us a lovely lunch.
And then Fernando, the painter, makes you a coffee every day.
Yeah, he brings his coffee machine.
So you're going to miss him.
Yeah, they're lovely.
How long do you reckon left on this job then? 1
Well, I
week?
don't know.
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
It depends when Joe wants to move. Joe and Chris want to move in.
Yeah.
And then finish it maybe at another time.
Yeah, well they'll finish it bit by bit, won't they, once they're in?
I think they'll probably do some bits themselves as well.
Yeah.
The problem with renovations is that the money adds up. Because what you originally thought, there always turns out to be a lot more to do.
I remember watching Grand Designs.
And everyone runs out of money.
Yeah, it always costs a lot more than you think.
So as a builder, I always put on at least 30% to what people actually think it's going to cost, and I think that's fairly realistic. And it depends to the extent of work. If it's a huge amount of works, it's almost always going to be 50% more than you first thought.
Yeah, because on those DIY pages on Facebook, people are always like, oh, how much is this going to cost? And then most people sort of say, how long is a piece of string? Like every
You don't
project.
know till you're working on
Well,
it.
also like you don't know what the house is gonna, you don't know what you're gonna get from that house once you start to uncover things.
Exactly. But there was a lot of issues here with the water running off the land, coming up under the house and then coming up through the floors. So that took an extensive amount of extra work to solve that issue.
I was talking about the French drain.
Oh yeah.
So that's all been covered now.
Yeah, it just needs tidying up.
What else was what was the other pipe going down there?
Soil pipe and the grey water pipe. Soil pipe goes that way,
Right.
grey water pipe goes that way.
And that goes into the soakaway.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
it.
like water from the shower and sinks and stuff.
Okay. All right then, Dave. Do you want to say goodbye to the viewers?
See you next time.
Bye.